Hi, second grade science kids. I hope you can hear me. I am in Cody's room at home and going to demonstrate your periscope project for today. So you should have just finished watching your lesson, your PowerPoint lesson, and had a good refresher on scattering of light, refraction of light, and reflection of light. So today our experiment is going to be on reflection of light. So we're going to make periscopes for you to take home and be able to play with it over your long Thanksgiving weekend. Okay, so first of all, our supplies are here. Okay, what we have are 2 mirrors on wooden blocks, and we need a staple gun, and your teacher's going to use the staple gun for you today. You need a pen or a crayon, a pair of scissors, a glue stick, Scotch tape. Now I hope you all made your sheet for covering your periscope with. And we also have a template that we need to mark on the box, and then you have your milk carton, okay? So that's what we're going to use for our supplies. Let me put the camera up so you can see the work area. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is make sure your paper that you've already designed, if you haven't designed one, don't worry, go ahead and color one, will fit right over your box. So that's why we have the Scotch tape. What we're going to do is cover 3 sides of your box with the paper, okay? And again, this is the design that you did. And I want you to tape it over your box, just like this, and to hold it on. And what you have to do is trim off the edges. You don't want it to overhang. See how it overhangs? So we're going to trim that off. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your pen or your crayon and you're going to mark the edge of the box, the highest part of it, so you know where to cut. Okay? So this is the bottom of the carton. It is flat. So you make your mark and take it off the box. Okay? And then you cut along the line. This way it'll fit your box beautifully. Okay. Now this paper, it's a regular 8.5 by 11. Doesn't wrap all the way around your box. So if you'd like, you get another piece of paper and cover up the part of the box that's going to show. So we'll take our garbage. We'll throw it over here in the garbage can. Okay. Now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your box and you're going to take your template and put it over the box. And what you're going to do is you're going to mark, let's do this side here, and take your crayon or your pencil or pen, and you're going to mark where the opening goes in the box, okay? So just go ahead and scribble in there so you can see it real well. So you have the area where you know you have to cut out. Now, we take the opposite side, the back side of the box, and want another hole. So you flip it all the way over, so your mark's down now, and then you mark, take your template, put it over your box, and at the opposite end of the box, you mark your other cutout hole. So this template is going to tell us where to cut out our hole in our box, okay? So you can see our little hole, our template marking here. I punch a hole in it with my pen so I can get my scissors in there. And I very carefully, the smaller scissors work better, but cut out the rectangular hole, so it'll be a rectangle in your box. Okay, and you have one on each end to do. So we'll cut out that hole. It's a nice little hole. You can trim it up a little bit more if you'd like, just to make it nice and even. There we go. And you do the same thing on the other end of the box. Okay? I like to use a pen because it's not real sharp and it shouldn't puncture you, but you, right in the middle of your rectangle, you punch some holes so you can get your scissors in. And you go ahead and cut out the rectangle here. It's a little harder on the side of the box where you opened it up, and I should have went over that first. Your milk carton was like this, and hopefully it was opened up, washed out, and dried, so you don't have stinky old milk boxes here today. Okay, so you cut out your rectangle. So now we have 2 cutout rectangles in our box, and be sure to remember, let's be neat, let's throw your scraps of paper in the garbage. So we have 1 hole at the bottom on this side and 1 hole on this side, okay? So that's where we're going to look through in our periscopes. Now the next thing we got to do is tape our paper back on. Let's see, I want my paper on these 2 sides. So the top part here of the milk carton is going to be where you look out, and the bottom part is your eye hole. So on the bottom of the carton, the bottom hole, that's your eye hole. So I want my paper to go on like this, but we don't want it to cover our eye hole, do we? So we take our tape again and just tack on our paper just for a few minutes. This is just a decoration. It really doesn't affect how your periscope works, but we want it to look cool, don't we? So then what you do is you find your little cutout hole here and you mark it with the marker, to feel it with your fingers, so you know where to cut your paper out. Oops. There we go. Okay? So now I'm going to take my paper off and do the same thing that I did to the cardboard box. Was poke a hole in it without poking myself, cut out my rectangle, there we go. Okay, then before I glue it on now, I'm going to check it and make sure it's the right size. So I want to be able to see through there really well. And you know what? I can make it a little bit wider. So I want to see as much as I can with my periscope. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm going to put glue on all the edges of my paper and then around my eye hole, and do a big X. You make sure I got lines of glue across there. Then I'm going to line up the eye holes together and wrap my decoration around my periscope. Okay? So there's what my periscope's going to look like. And on mine I have pictures of water molecules and a prism, taking white light and splitting it into the visible light. All those things we studied in class. I have refraction, chemiluminescence, bioluminescence, a lot of fun stuff. So, okay. Now the other thing you can do is take a piece of paper if you would like and cover up the top of your periscope, cut it out and glue it on. I'm not going to do that tonight, but you can certainly do that if you have time, okay? Now the next thing we've got to do is put in the blocks, and this is where your teacher's got to help you. But you have your blocks that are cut at an angle, so the light will come in from our box, hit the glass, and at the opposite angle it hits the glass is go up the periscope. Okay, so we've got to have the glass facing our cutout hole. So our cutout hole's here. So we drop this in there. Now be careful, the edges of the glass could be a little sharp. So I don't know if you can see in there, but see how the mirror is facing the cutout hole there? You can actually see the light on it, okay? And then what you're going to do is your teacher's going to take your staple gun, hold it in place, and put one staple on each side to hold it in. Okay? I'm going to check to make sure it's flat in there. Oops, and I have it crooked, so I'm going to have to straighten that one out. You don't want it crooked, you want it nice and flat in your box. There we go. There we go. Okay. And then we put the other glass block and square. And again, the block's cut at a 45-degree angle. That's what that's called. And we want the glass facing our cutout and facing down and towards the cutout. So we have the wood on the top, the glass towards the cutout. You have to get this nice and flat in here, just like that. See how that's nice and flat in there? We'll hold it down tight to the table, and then we'll staple that in. Okay, and there we have it, folks. we have a periscope, okay? So it's decorated any way you want. You can write your name on it. This is where we look in. This is where what we're looking at comes in the periscope, comes down, hits the mirror, reflects down, reflects back out into our eye, okay? So, let's see how it works. Oh, I could see the wall above you. Okay, start peeking around your desks and chairs and tables and see where you could see where your body isn't. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later.